What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Tree City Trading. As always, I am your host, Wes. Let me get the music situation just right for you guys. Hopefully that sounds good. Hope everybody had a good Tuesday. Time to get back into the swing of things, man. I've been in Miami for the last week. It's been fun. Me and my wife had a blast out there. What's up, Allie? What's up, Howler? Shout out to the 6 watchers. Hope you guys like, subscribe, and share. But yeah, we're just kicking out on a Tuesday. Gonna keep it brief. Got a late start tonight. Had a long day at work. But we're gonna go over some charts. We're gonna talk about BitMap. We had some big XEN updates today, so I couldn't stay away. But as always, we'll start off with the Bitcoin chart. Oh, that's interesting. I was looking at the monthly here. Let's really zoom in, take a look at the weekly. And I'll be honest, I haven't looked at charts since I've been back from vacation. So we're gonna see how things have been looking. On the weekly here, you can see we had that big green candle on the BlackRock news on all the ETFs that are pending approval right now. Hopefully they get approved. Maybe. I mean, some people don't like the idea. We'll see what happens there. Take a look at Bitcoin on the daily, and you can kind of see the idea that we were drawing here, and it really played out exactly how I thought. I mean, it's pretty common sense TA here if you're watching the charts. But at the end of May, we came back up to the top of the pattern, and I said, "Watch, we're gonna retest it and come down." We definitely had some volatility here, but we came all the way down to 25. Once we hit 25, a bunch of good news came out, and we shot right back up. We came out of the top of the falling wedge, right to the measured move. We got as high as 31,500. So man, that was an awesome week last week. Since then, for the last couple days, we've just been going sideways. I think everybody's waiting to see what Gary's gonna do. Gary Gensler, is he gonna approve the ETFs, specifically the BlackRock ETF? That's a big question mark for everybody right now. Yeah, let's take a look. I'm curious what's been moving over the last week. Let's see. So obviously there's a lot of green, and holy shit, Bitcoin Cash is up 107%. That's pretty funny right there. We got Pepe up 60%, FTX up 40%. Why is FTX moving? I guess there is that news of the FTX2 launching. They were able to recover a bunch of money. It's good to see Radix moving again. I have a nice position in Radix. Wow, it's all the way up to 8 cents. That's great. That's good to see. How are things looking on the day here? Once again, CASP is moving, man. We've been watching this move all the way up. I still haven't touched this thing. Got as low as 2 cents on the week. So it's about 50% on the month. That's pretty nice. I'm waiting on the XRP news. That's interesting that XLM is up 10%. Wonder if there's any news there. And then we got some little movers. You got Arbitrum up 3%, VChain up 3%, Stacks and Kava down 4.5%. So after we got that big move up, we're kind of back to moving sideways again. Let's take a look here, and yeah, I mean, this looks pretty solid though. We have a nice support forming right around 30K. Where's 30K? Yeah, right here. So got a nice little uptrend going on the 1 hour. Hopefully this will hold up. We'll just kind of keep on bouncing up here. We'll see what happens. Take a look at our other charts here. I made one for the Zen ecosystem. That's right. That's funny. It got a couple Zen coins on the on TradingView, which is kind of cool. I was kind of curious. I heard there was some good news about VMPX today. Unfortunately, I didn't really get to dive into the Zen news yet because I spent a lot of my day working. After work, I was working on some code, so I really haven't had a chance to dive into that yet. But judging by this, it looks like it's pretty bullish for VMPX. You can see over the last 3 days, it's up almost. Let's see what this is. I was gonna say almost 100%. It's up 88% in the last 2 or 3 days, so that's really nice to see. We're gonna have to look into the news of VMPX and what Jack and Zen 2 announced today. I was in the Twitter space. I just didn't really get a chance to pay attention because I was at work. I wanted to ask some questions, but it just wasn't in the cards today. I thought this was kind of cool on a deck or on TradingView. You can actually multiply the coins by a number. So I kind of made all the Zen coins closer to $1, so it's easier to see. So like Zen on ETH, if you multiply it by 1,000,000, it's actually $1.50. So I mean, it doesn't really do anything to the chart, but it kind of gives me a better sense of, instead of looking at, you know, infinite zeros like we always tend to do. Let's flip over to Deck Screener, see how we're doing in the different ecosystems. Check out our watch list here. As always, we got our main watch list. Yeah, must have been some good news for Zen today. That's awesome. I bet Jack and Zensu came on, kind of calmed down the community. I wish I was able to pay attention. I'm excited to go back and listen to that tonight. Got XEN up 0.5%. Everything else is just kind of sideways. Pulsechain, Pulsex hanging around down 1%. DBZen still down quite a bit. Liquidity is getting pretty low, about 120,000. $4.54 per DBZen, and that's okay. They're not going anywhere. I think that's an awesome DeFi protocol. I love participating in DBZen. It's my preferred choice for burning my Zen, for sure. I'll just say that. Let's swing over to Pulsechain, see how things are doing over there. I've heard a lot of gripes on Twitter. People aren't very happy with, especially the liquidity pools. I'm not sure if they ever figured that out. You know, the V1 liquidity pools are earning ink, while the V2 liquidity pools don't earn ink, but they earn fees, while the V1 don't earn fees. It's kind of a mess. I mean, really, you should be earning fees for providing liquidity and also earning ink if you're participating in the pool. So I don't want to say if shady's the right word. It's just kind of a shitty practice, I guess. And it's kind of reflecting in the price over the last couple weeks. I'm kind of worried to see. Let's take a look at our charts. We definitely have some charts. Okay, so that's not too bad. We're kind of calling a bottom here, hoping this was the bottom. And it did kind of come up there, but it's still just doing its thing. So it doesn't look completely bearish. That's good. Kind of just looks like some consolidation before another step up. And look at that. That kind of looks like a cup and handle here. Shout out to Crypto Lifer. Maybe we got a little Sammy Cup and Andy here. That'd take us up to 3014. That would be pretty nice. I'd be pretty happy if Pulse did that. How's Pulsex doing? Oof. 403. Now notice Pulsechain kind of had that pump up, but Pulsex didn't. I know there's a lot of questions regarding Pulsex. I was really heavy and bullish into Pulsex because I thought that it's going to be the premier DEX, but now that there's these other DEXs coming out that do seem to have better DeFi with better fees and, you know, better rewards, Pulsex is kind of struggling here. Definitely have a decision point here with these two resistances and supports meeting. Hopefully we move to the upside, but I think it really just depends on Pulsechain and Bitcoin. This will just kind of follow. Volume's not very heavy, only 500 transactions on the day. Incentive tokens hanging around at $8. And this is kind of more of the price action we expected from the incentive token when Pulsechain launched. You know, everyone was kind of like, how is the incentive token ever going to go up? And then it shot all the way up to, you know, $100. And since then, it's been basically doing what everybody expected it would do. So, luckily I'm not holding any of this. When I was participating in the pools, I was really just selling it as soon as I got it, doing some more Zen mints. This kind of does look like it's starting to find a bottom. Maybe this will be a little double bottom here in the 1 hour chart. But I mean, that looks pretty weak, to be honest. It's hard to say that's not bearish looking. Then we got Hex over here. Which one is this? This is Hex, the P Hex, the Pulsechain Hex. I guess this is the real Hex now. Is that what everybody's saying? What's the fib saying? Let's take a look. So we got the golden pocket back up here. Hopefully it can be nice if it did one of these. I'll be honest though, I sold my hex. I sold my hex into Pulse and PulseX, and then I ended up using the Pulse to mint more as NFTs. I'll also show you my Pulse Punks. I got 2 Pulse Punks. I thought that was pretty funny. We'll get to that a bit later. Actually, why not? Let's pull it up now. We're talking about Pulsechain. Or no, it's Pulse Punks. I thought these are kind of funny. I went out and bought these. There's no affiliation here. I didn't get one for free for talking about it or anything. I just thought they were kind of cool. You know, it's the first NFT on Pulsechain, and I think the royalty program's pretty cool too. Let me log in here real quick. But you guys want to see my PPs? It's the most Richard Hart thing ever, right? Take a look at my PP, guys. So here's me, 5435. I thought that looked like me. I thought that was kind of cool, so I grabbed that. And then I had to grab a matching one for my wife. So here we are, living as Pulse Punks. I do think the royalty program's pretty sweet though, so I only own 2 Pulse Punks, and I'm already going to get 40,000 Pulse with the pool, and that's going to continue to grow as people trade, and they'll get more and more royalties, so. The notorious one, bro, could you please explain to me why everyone charts with DAI on Pulse? That's a good question. It's because we're all tied to the US dollar, honestly. If we were really crypto heads, we would be pricing it into the native coin, you know, or pricing it into the price of Bitcoin, but we have a better understanding of the US dollar, so we like to do the charts compared to the US dollar. You know, in our minds, the US dollar's stable, even though in reality it's not. We just have a better idea of the pricing power of a dollar compared to like a Pulsechain token or a Pulsechain coin. So that's kind of why people like to do their charting in USD, USDT. Realistically, it's almost better to watch like the Bitcoin pairs or the native coin pairs, because then you can kind of do ratio trading. But yeah, that's basically, that's why I do it anyway. I'm just more familiar with the dollar. It's easier to see the price action, especially if I'm considering buying it. You know, I'm going to use my dollars to buy it, so I kind of want to see what the price action is in relation to a dollar. If you're looking at like the Hex PLS chart, the chart looks completely different because the price of Pulsechain is changing in relation to the price of Hex. So if Hex and Pulsechain both drop at the same time, you start to see stuff like this. You know, and then if they both pump at the same time, you see big pumps like that. It's definitely a lot more volatile. Whereas just versus the dollar, it's just kind of more calm. It's easier to predict, I guess. I'm not sure. Fiat's bad though. Fuck the dollar. Let's get back to our watch list. Let's check out some of these Zen coins. Oh yeah, I was showing off my PP. We got 40,000 PLS here in the pool. So there's almost 200 million Pulsechain in the pool, and a couple times a year, or I think it's once a year, the pool empties and all the royalties are given back to the community. And it's, you know, the more Pulsechain punks you have, the bigger your share of the pool is. So I have 2, and I'm already going to earn 40,000 in 100 days or whatever. So that's pretty cool. Hopefully that continues. Let's go back to take a look at the Zen charts. Yeah, look at that. We got some movement today. We got Zen up 8%, Phantom Zen up 5%, Moonbeam Zen up 3%, Pulsechain Zen down 16%. That's kind of rough. The Cosmos Zen is down 14%. OKC Zen's down 1. So Zen's just kind of doing its thing. We did have some bullish news today, it sounds like, so that's kind of nice. Take a look at the chart here, see what we're looking at. Oh wow, look at that. I almost called that perfectly. Went up and retested it, but we haven't really done anything since we retested it. We got a slight uptrend here, but I bet if I pull this fib, we're gonna be real close. So hopefully we can get up above this golden pocket and retest it. That'd be nice. Kind of continue this nice move upward. Nice smooth move upward. That'd be nice to see how the Zen chart. So let's take a look at DB Zen, see how DB Zen's doing. Down a little bit, so maybe the news wasn't so good for DB Zen, but honestly, it could just be more, you know, people taking profits as they earn their DXN tokens. Seeing a lot of burn, I don't know what you'd even call it, burn washing, burn cycling. You burn your tokens, you get your DXN, you sell your DXN for Zen, then you burn again. People just doing that cycle. So that's kind of cool. Shout out to the 7 watchers. Hope you guys like, subscribe, and share. Gonna keep it brief tonight, so let's fly through these charts here. What else we got? Phoenix, oh man. 1 transaction for $50, so basically no volume on this. That's really unfortunate. Hopefully the project stays alive. We'll see what happens there. I know I got my stakes lined up throughout the year in 2024. So got 6 months to get the liquidity, get the act together. Hopefully that we get some some volume there. That'd be nice to see. All right, let's get into it. So the big thing that's been on my mind for the last few days is this whole bitmap craze. I've been really excited about bitmaps. I hope you guys go check out this video. I basically give you a rundown on what bitmaps are, how they work, what the general idea is. To be honest, it doesn't really exist yet, but we're waiting on builders to come to build this out. So it's highly speculative, but it's also very cheap. You know, you can mint a bitmap for $1. I actually do it right in the video. So if you check out that video, you can see how the whole process works. And basically what it is, you're inscribing Satoshis with the number of a block on the Bitcoin blockchain. So arguably the most famous block on the Bitcoin blockchain is block 0. The first block in the Bitcoin blockchain, the one that Satoshi started it all with. So with this bitmap theory, you can actually come over to Unisat, inscribe a 0.bitmap, and if you were the first one to do that, you would essentially own bitmap 0. And that's the general idea with this. So you can see almost 80,000 people have inscribed bitmap 0. So you can make duplicates. Only the earliest one counts though. Only the first one. So that's something to keep in mind. If you're looking into this, you definitely want to come to Unisat search and search for your bitmap before you spend any money inscribing it. But it's really interesting to consider that, you know, there's different blocks and you could value these different blocks in different ways. So one way to value it is on a historical context. You know, block 0 is the first block. It has a secret message inscribed from Satoshi. You know, the first Bitcoin halving. That's a huge historical block. The first time the rewards were cut in half. That's a famous Bitcoin block. All these different types of historical blocks could have value in this new bitmap metaverse or this new bitmap idea. And then there's also just cool numbers, you know, 69 or 420. You know, palindromes like 1221 or sequential numbers like 1234, 456. You know, I bet that's a really popular one. Block 1234. You know, almost 80,000 people have inscribed, or 800,000 people have inscribed that one too. Well, you can see it's doing everything with 1234. But so you'll notice the dates on these. This one was inscribed on 6/13. So was that 2 weeks ago? So that whoever owns this one would be the, you know, that's the first one. They would own that block, and you can actually go over to the marketplaces like Ordinal's Wallet or Magic Eden, and they've just recently added these Bitcoin inscriptions. So let me log into my wallet here. I'll show you what I mean. So I actually own these Bitcoin inscriptions, like this block 1501. I won that in a contest in the Twitter space. Shout out to 8-Bit. But if you come over here and type in block 1501, you'll see that it was actually inscribed on 6/14. It's the earliest 1501, and that's my wallet address right there. I own it. So if someone values that block, specifically being a smaller block, it's only 4 digits, they could actually come over to the marketplace here and purchase that off me. And it's crazy to see people are actually buying these little bitmaps. It's just a block number .bitmap, which is inscribed on a Satoshi, and people are trading it and finding value in it, and I find it amazing. And there's barely anything built on it yet. So hopefully they come out, they build some utilities. Imagine doing like recursive NFTs where it takes the data in your bitmap. You have 420 transactions or 69 transactions, or there's $1 billion of Bitcoin in that block in transactions, and you run it through a recursive Bitcoin NFT generator, and anything with 420 transactions comes out with it's green and it's smoky, and or it's the 69, it's like red and sexy, or it kind of generates a different NFT based on this bitmap that you own, and you still own the bitmap and you own this new NFT, and then only the people that own the bitmaps are able to generate through this recursive generation. I think that's just one idea of a million, of a million different ideas that this whole bitmap craze could spawn. So if we come over here, we can actually take a look at the ones that sold, and let's look at the highest price. So it's pretty interesting to see, what are the highest prices. So over here on Ordinal's Wallet, the highest price, someone bought 374 for basically 0.1 Bitcoin. It's 0.098. So you consider 0.1 Bitcoin. The price of Bitcoin is $30,000. This person paid $3,000 for bitmap 374. That's it. I mean, that's crazy. $3,000 for an inscription that says 374.bitmap. So people are really getting behind this idea of, buying these blocks and taking ownership in the Bitcoin blockchain. And hopefully the developers see this attention and this volume. We're up to 0.3 volume in Bitcoin in the last 24 hours, just people trading this. Over 5 Bitcoin in volume has been bought and sold in these bitmaps. It's insane. It's insane. So 374 sold for 0.1. We got 176 that sold for 0.076. We got 188 sold for 0.06. These are thousands and thousands of dollars. 0.05 Bitcoin is over $1,000. That's crazy. That is insane. People are just over these little inscriptions. So another marketplace is a Magic Eden. I wonder if there's any big buys and sells over there. Let's see if we can take a look. Hey, thanks for the nice words, Notorious One. Shout out. What up, Marco? What up, mi amigo? Hell yeah. All right, let's see. Hey, this is my Reaper. No, this one's not mine. I do own a Bitcoin Reaper, though. This little guy, 543. I wonder how they're doing. I heard it not very well. 0.00019. Oof. I think I got mine for 0.003, so it's down pretty far. But let's check out the bitmap marketplace over on Magic Eden. I don't think on this one I can sort the activity by, but you can see most of them are going for 0.00005. I mean, I think that's about what it paid to inscribe it, so anything less than that might be a deal. But you see some are going for more than that, some are going for twice that, 3 times that. So this is a 5-digit going for 0.001. So that's about $300? No, that's about $30. So this 5-digit bitmap's going for $30 right now, and they basically paid $1 to inscribe it. So I'm up to about 50. I listed a couple, but I listed at pretty ridiculous prices. I don't think anyone's gonna buy the price that I have it listed at. He said, when I get time, I'm gonna formulate a plan to help grow this channel. Hell yeah, man! Thank you. Just doing what I can to get the word out, man. Definitely give me a follow on Twitter at TreeCityWest. I'm on there tweeting all day, spreading the word about crypto and Bitcoin. That's what I'm here for sure. So I've really gone headfirst into these bitmaps, and there's so much nerdy little things that totally has me enthralled with this whole thing. Let me find my, let's see here. So I thought this was super interesting too. This messages from the mines. These are basically messages that were inscribed some over 10 years ago. So block number 0 that we were talking about earlier, the first Bitcoin block, it was mined on January 3rd, 2009, and Satoshi put this time on here, so everybody knew when it started. So it was January 3rd, 2009. The Times, chancellors on the brink of the second bailout for the banks. Bitcoin was created out of this idea where the governments were bailing out the banks, and the bankers were taking these huge golden parachutes and getting all this money for their collapsing banks. And Bitcoin was created on this idea, and that's why Satoshi inscribed this on the Genesis block. But there's so many other cool inscriptions. You can actually come down here. If you come to the lower right here, you have the filter. And you can filter by, here, let me move this up a little bit. So you can filter by all these different messages. There's things like birthdays and ASCII art and eulogies and poetry. I thought the code was really cool. People are putting code on here. Satoshi's messages. And you can also search for messages. So if I wanted to, I thought a funny one was the Ethereum. If I go back to the timeline here. Let's see, let me refresh this. It is a little buggy still. But yeah, so if I type in Ethereum here, there's actually a couple messages that people inscribe the word Ethereum into Bitcoin blocks. The first being in 2015, somebody printed this URL that has a 3D sketch of Ethereum. I'm curious what this is. It's a GitHub. Let's take a look. Wonder if it's still active. Oh, it's the Ethereum logo. That's funny. That's all it is. So that's funny, right? I mean, that's kind of cool. But in 2015, some random person created a Bitcoin transaction with inscription that has this URL that is just a 3D image of the Ethereum logo. That's interesting to me. That's so cool. Like, what other kind of things? Looks like here's another one. It's probably that same GitHub, I imagine. Oh, this one's colored. Yeah, check that out. That's pretty cool too. And that's just inscribed on a Bitcoin block from 2015. These websites won't live on, but as long as Bitcoin's around, these messages and these URLs will. So that's pretty cool. Where else did they mention Ethereum? Ethereum fanboys, go to your Ethereum wall. That's funny. So this is right when it started. There's a big craze. It's going to be the future of the internet. It's the crypto internet. So this is interesting. Stack Exchange, Ethereum. Who is Vitalik Buterin? Let's see if this still exists. Is Vitalik Buterin a real person or a pseudonymous name like Satoshi Nakamoto? I see videos and pictures of him. Is he really the person behind Ethereum? There is no Vitalik. That's so funny. See, this cracks me up. Someone inscribed this on a block in 2016, and they're basically denying the existence of Vitalik. But obviously today everyone knows who Vitalik is. He's in interviews. He's on TV. It's pretty funny. There is no Vitalik Buterin. Vitalik Buterin is a lie, invented by a Soviet shadow government to distract attention from the upcoming conspiracy to institute the New World Order with the People's Bank of China and R3. these are not the Vitalik Buterin you're looking for. That is so funny. It's pretty cool. Ethereum parity. So that's interesting. Okay, so this is on March 18th, 2016. It's the day after my wife's birthday. Let's see. I'm kind of curious what the price. It says it's parity. I wonder if it's actually parity. So in March 2016, March of 2016, the price of Ethereum was $500. This month, so it was below. It was between $400 and $500. Or I'm sorry, this is Bitcoin. Bitcoin was between $400 and $500 in March of 2016. So what was Ethereum in March of 2016? Do I have a chart that goes back that far? Yeah. That's funny. So it's between $6 and $10. So Bitcoin was between $400 and $500, while Ethereum was between $6 and $10 at the time. And this guy from this date in 2016 was calling for Ethereum parity. It means the same price, or the same action. That's interesting. That's pretty funny. He wishes. I'm at the Ethereum Code-Up London. So this is just another way to value these bitmaps. So I actually went through, I spent some time finding these rare messages, purchased a couple. I have one that's from 2015. It says they predict $10,000 Bitcoin in 2020. I thought that was kind of cool, seeing into the future like that. I have one, it's probably coming up here. Basically said the SEC is going to come after Ethereum and it's a security because of the hard fork and everything. So it's kind of interesting. And then there's also visualizations of the Bitcoin blocks. So, I'm thinking in dates and, signing messages and these historical artifacts. But another way to look at it is the actual artistic nature of the Bitcoin blocks and the bitmaps. So like, if I pull up that one that I have, 1501, it's only one block. It's kind of boring. It doesn't really do much. However, if we pull up my Twitter here, let me take a look. So this one was 93779. So if I pull up block number 93779, I size it by V bytes instead of value. So it's kind of cool. So this is two different ways. So if I do it by value, it kind of looks like a punk, right? It kind of looks like a face. Like here's the eye, here's kind of like an eyebrow or the brim of a hat or something. Kind of looks like a face. So that could be considered a punk. But if I change the size by V bytes, the transactions are all the same size, so they're placed evenly in these symmetrical and organized lines. This is called a mondrian. So it's nice and even, and it's easy to look at. So that's just one way. That's just one way to do it. Another way to do it is by the number of transactions within the blocks. So if you look at 215694 here, so it doesn't really look cool. It's just a bunch of little squares all together. It doesn't really make sense. But if I take a look at the number of transactions, there's only 420 transactions in this block. So that means there's only so many blocks that have 420 transactions. Another really cool tool that I've been using is called Blockchair. Blockchair has a Bitcoin block filtering tool. So if you're looking for blocks with specific number of transactions or how large of a block it is, you can actually come here and do that. So if I use this transaction count filter, I want all transactions that have exactly 420, a count of 420 transactions. There's only 260 of them. So out of the 700,000 blocks, almost 800,000 Bitcoin blocks, there's only 260 blocks that are exactly 420 transactions. That kind of makes owning one of these like you're in a special 420 club. And that works for all these special numbers like 69 or, 1111, or, if you're getting to casinos, maybe 777, all these different things. They kind of have these exclusive clubs, and somebody has to come and build this. So like if you made a Discord that had like a special checker, if you have all the list of the blocks that are 420 transactions, you can say anybody with this block gets this role in Discord, and it kind of is a specialized thing. So there's literally, the ideas are limitless. There's so many things you can do with this stuff. So really right now it's just a land grab, and everybody's trying to find these different ways. Another cool way to look at it is the output. So let me get rid of the 420 transactions, and you can see there's some blocks that have barely any Bitcoin. Like this one had 0 output. I don't even know how that's possible. Let's take a look. I wonder if it's available. So if I'm curious in this bitmap, I would come over to unisat.io. I'd pop this into the search. I'm going to search for 501.726.bitmap. And unfortunately, a bunch of people have already minted it. If you look, so this one was minted 6/13. This is the only active one. So whoever has this, I might be able to come over to, one of the marketplaces and see. So it's inscription 11806897. Let's pop it into Magic Eden, see if they're selling it. Oh, wait, no, I need the block number. What was the block number? So here it is. Someone's holding it. They're not selling it. I mean, it is kind of cool that it's a transaction with 0 Bitcoin in it. It's kind of like an empty transaction. How about an Ordinals wallet? Let's see if it's over here. Yeah, it's no listing, so it's not for sale. And that's why you gotta check. You can't get too excited. You find this cool block and then you find out 20 other people minted it. You're just wasting your Satoshis at that point. But another way to look at it are the size of the blocks. It's like this block, 394736, has 6,500,000 Bitcoin in it. So 6.5 million Bitcoin in block 394736. Probably doesn't look cool. It's probably just a bunch of transactions all smashed together. Yep. Actually, that does look really cool. I take that back. That looks really tight. But you can see here, it's a $199 billion block. So there's so much Bitcoin in this block. There's $199 billion in it. What's nice is that Blockchair will actually tell you the cost at the time. Because over the years, the price of Bitcoin goes way up. So a lot of people think they got billion-dollar blocks, but they're not necessarily billion-dollar blocks because you have to account for the time. So the price of Bitcoin at the time, this block was actually a $2.5 billion block. You can see we can actually go over to output, filter it by USD, start it from, let's type in a billion. So there's about 30,000 billion-dollar blocks, which is a lot. I mean, that's a lot. Especially later. I mean, anymore today, almost every block's a billion-dollar block because the price of Bitcoin's so high. So that's another thing. It's less exclusive of a group, but it's still cool. You're a billionaire. You're in the billionaire club. Whereas like Like, what about blocks with 111 transactions? There's 571 of them. So I can come over here. I can pop this into Unisat. And one person minted this earlier today at 2 p.m. How about this one? Same thing. It's got to be getting pretty close to being minted out. Same thing. It's a lot of this. You're doing a lot of manual checking. You know, the first couple days I was getting everything, man. I was getting some really cool ones. Got a couple 5-digit, got a couple 4 digits. $10141. I forget what this one is. Let's take a look. Right, no, it was 101041. So I thought I would, for this one, I was actually just looking for blocks that start with 1010 because I thought that was a cool number. This one is 101041. And it's just kind of a boring block. Doesn't really have anything. This kind of looks cool. Kind of looks like a Rubik's Cube or something. It's only got 18 transactions. It's from 2011. So kind of interesting. Kind of interesting. So this is how I've been finding my bitmaps. I've been using BlockChair. I've been using the messages from the mines. I've been using Bitfeed to find like interesting looking ones. I don't really rely on the maps. Like I think Ordinal's wallet has a map. Let's go check this out. Yeah, here. So this is supposedly a map, but it doesn't update instantly. I guess you can kind of get a quick look. So the green ones are for sale, the orange ones are claimed. And this is 700,000 blocks. And almost all of them are claimed. That is wild. Alright, so now we're getting down into the ones that are not claimed. Let's see, what are we looking at here? Ah! $658,870. So these are apparently available. Let's see if there's any good ones here. Less than 1,000 Bitcoin, nothing really special there. $700 transactions, 1,000 Bitcoin, blah, blah, blah. So you can see why these are available. They're just kind of boring blocks. There's nothing special about them. It's got a 10 Bitcoin transfer. 1,000 Bitcoin. So if I was interested in this one, I can grab, so this is block 658,873, take it over to Unisat. Now the map said it was available, but if I actually search for it, someone actually minted it. So that's kind of interesting, right? Like it said that whole row was available, but it really wasn't. So you definitely got to be careful. Definitely want to triple check to make sure those blocks are actually available. 658,703. So this one's actually available. Does it look cool? It actually does, kinda. Oops. That is 704. Should I grab this one? 658704. Has over 1,500 transactions. I wonder if I can get one with 2,000. That's got 20,000 Bitcoin. That's a lot. I might grab that. 20,000 Bitcoin's a lot. So that's interesting. So there seems to be a lot in the 650 range. So what I may do is head over here and you can use the block height filter. And I can go between 650,000 and 700, or let's go 655,000. Turn off the transaction count. There we go. So now I can look for some interesting ones here. Maybe set up the split screen. Let's see if we can find a cool one. All right, so 6505, this has 360 or 3661 transactions. I want to find a cool one. Let's see if we could do it. I don't really have any with a ton of transactions, so. Oh, there we go. First one. 350562 has 3,661 transactions. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty crazy looking, right? What's the biggest one? Let's see. In terms of Bitcoin. So 653575 has 500,000 Bitcoins. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. This one's probably going to be taken. Yeah, so this one was grabbed on 619, probably because it has so many Bitcoin in it. This is pretty cheesy, right? Pretty nerdy. This is how I spend my evenings on vacation after being on the beach all day. Just kind of looking at the different bitmaps. Who knows what's going to happen with this, but let's see if we can find one with a bunch of Bitcoin. So this number is probably not available. It ends in 690, so that's kind of a cool number. And this is how you get the good bitmaps. You just run through these lists. All these are taken because they're all billion dollar boys. That's crazy, right? Not a single one. Let's adjust the block height. Let's go 750. Let's see if we can get some high transaction counts. Over 5,000 would be tight. Don't believe I have one of those yet. And yeah, this is a This is crypto for today, right? Hoping to find one, but it's not looking promising. Let's go a couple pages in. That is wild, right? Where'd that one that was in the 650 range? Is that right here? So 2,900. Well, I'll probably hold off on that for now then. But yeah, I think that's it. That's all I really got. As I mentioned, we're going to keep it brief tonight, just trying to get back into the swing of things. Still kind of recovering from vacation, but I appreciate everyone coming to watch. Probably head over to the 8-bit on Twitter, the 8-bit space on Twitter. I forget what they call it, Bitcoin After Dark. Very cool community. I want a 4-digit inscription over there, so definitely come hang out, see what's up. We should be back tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be caught up on the Zen news today. We'll talk about that. We'll see what the new changes are for XEN. But judging by the charts that we looked at earlier, it's looking pretty bullish for Zen right now. So that's exciting. We got a nice pump out of VMPX. We got a nice pump on Zen on ETH. So that's exciting to see. Hope everybody has a good afternoon. Has a good night, has a good Wednesday, and we will be back. Thank you for watching. Oh yeah, also the store is live on TreeCityTrading.us, so definitely head over to the website, TreeCityTrading.us. I'm going to be making some BitMaps shirts here shortly, but for now we got the VMPX, we got the DBZen, we got the Zen, got the Pulsechain, got the Bitcoin shirts. The Tree City Trading, so definitely come support the channel. If you want to, you can also buy me a coffee. I'm not really monetized at this point, but you can toss me a few bucks if you feel like it. Yeah, that's all I got to say. Hope you guys have a good night. Take it easy. Tree City Trading is out.